Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. Also, it's Friday morning in Israel at 3 a.m. and Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan at 10 a.m. Everyone's having breakfast? Some people are. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're going to be here for a whole hour. As usual, we're here every Thursday at this particular time. And we always get together and invite you in, and you can get involved in the conversation as well. All you have to do is apply yourself. How do we do that? Well, first of all, if you're a first-time listener, let me explain to you how it goes. Once I get the show started, and while I'm getting the show started, which is right now, you can at the same time chime in at any time you want, even right now, to say hello. Use your fingers on a keyboard, on your computer, on your iPad, on your telephone, or even your pad, or the other devices that you may use, all right? That has a screen and of course, typing utensils right there. And you can type whatever you want to say, and I will see you right there on the big screen. I will say hello to you, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and of opinion, because that's what the show is all about. It's free exchange of thoughts and ideas and of opinion. Now, again, if you're watching us for the first time, thank you for being with us. And we've got a lot to talk about. For those of you who've been around for a while, you already know without saying that we're always grateful to have you along with us. And of course, if you could stay with us for the full hour, that'd be great. If you can't, we would appreciate any length of time you could stay with us. And by the way, if you're watching us for the first time, we're coming on 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And you can use any one of those sources to get involved with us. Either way, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is just apply yourself. It doesn't matter which one. Now, we're going to be here and all around the world. You know, we're coming live from New York City, but all around the world is where we are. So no matter where you go all around the world, we're going to be right there with you. As long as you have a great hotspot area and great Wi-Fi, you can catch us anywhere around the world, even in the middle of the desert. Not quite sure about that. Desert has nothing there. But, I mean, if you're outside of the desert, of course, you can do that. Anyway, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. And if you're watching us for the first time and you're watching us on Facebook, take the time right now to tag all of your friends, even you guys who have been around with us a long time. Tag your friends and let them know that we're on the air with us. When they see that tag coming from you, they'll know it's from you. They'll trust you. They'll click onto that tag, and it brings them directly to us, because the more the merrier. Now, I know you have a lot of friends on your Facebook page, and if you can't do them all, do some, and maybe each week, you know, do a few more and get everybody involved. And I think for you guys who are watching us on Instagram as well, you can do the same thing. I'm not sure if it works that way. I think you can give it a shot. It doesn't hurt to try it. Anyway, if you're doing that, please give it a shot. Let everybody know that we're here. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, please go onto my YouTube channel and click onto that. And once you get onto the YouTube channel, which I think if you're watching us right now, all you have to do is subscribe to us. You see that button right there. Just drag your little mouse over to where it says subscribe, where the arrow is, point it on, and it's right there. Now, there's no need for any contributions as far as finances go. We don't ask for any particular financial contributions. All we ask for is that you be with us each week. Now, the purpose of getting you involved and getting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because now that you've done that, every week, starting right now, when we go on the air, or if we as so much as post a video, you get an instant message. If you're online to see it, you'll get an instant message. And all you have to do is click onto that instant message, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel, and you can see what's going on. That's how it goes. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, no need to worry. Just tell all your friends about it, all right? And let them know that we're out here as well, your family, friends, relatives, and anybody that you know. maybe someone that you met for the first time. Give them a shot and tell them to give us a shot. We've got a lot of things going on as far as getting together with you as well. We do our regular routine. We've got so much coming up, and we're going to talk sports because in just a few minutes from now, in this particular half hour, not too long from now, Brian Camp will be along with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's got that coming up for you. And of course, you know, we already had Super Bowl. I'm not going to say any more about that. You know all about it. He's going to be talking about that. And now that the football season is over for the year, we talk about basketball. I'm pretty sure he has some information about that. And before you know it, it'll be baseball, because I know a lot of the baseball players will be signing on and going back to spring training. I believe it's someplace in April. It's usually in April when they start going out to Florida where the weather is warmer, start loosening up, limbering up, and getting ready for the big games throughout the whole season. So that's all coming up. And of course, as I said, basketball as well. So we have all of that news coming from you or for you. And by the way, if you have any sports related questions for him while he's on the air live, feel free at any time. You know, you don't have to wait. Just type it in, whatever your question is, he'll see you. And whatever he doesn't see, of course, I will see. For instance, if you're watching us on Instagram, you know, you won't be able to see Brian as so the other people from Facebook and YouTube will see him, but you'll get a chance to hear him. You'll still hear him just the same. So we're not set up for that that part of the technology to get a split screen going for Instagram. But if you're on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. But as I said, you can still participate and still ask questions even if you're on Instagram. So it's the same thing. The only thing is that you don't get a chance to see him. And so that's how it goes. And of course, later on in the program, we have this day in history, everything that happened on this day in history, which is today is February 15th. Every day is a history day and always something happening. So we got all this day in history that's coming up later on in the program. And towards the end of the program, we also have what we do each week, my picks of the week. I have those classic movies from Turner Classic Movies that I want to relay to you. A lot of you know that the weekend is coming up. And by the way, it's going to be a long weekend. It's going to be President's Day weekend. So you have a lot of time to do a lot of things over the weekend, whatever it is. And one of the things maybe is to catch up on movies. So I have my pick of the week, what I will relay to you later on to add to your list of what to watch for this weekend. So that's all coming up. It's you and me against the world. And we've got it all together, and it's all right here on Talkback Live. And if you're just watching in just this very moment, I do I have to repeat everything? It is Talkback Live, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. So stay with us. Everything is about to come. As you already know, and we say it again because this is the month of it, you know, we're involved in the month. It's February 15th. It's that it's here. We're halfway down the line of the month. But in the meantime, it's still the month of Black History Month, and everybody's celebrating that. And of course, there are a lot of things to do on Black History Month. There's a lot of studying up to do, a lot of reading, a lot of things to learn about our African-American pioneers. And you can learn all about that. You have Google, you have the public library. Look, people still use the public libraries, believe it or not. And that's all there. None of that is obsolete. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home. You can go on and find out about your favorite African-American achiever and learn more about them. And of course, you know, right throughout the month, there are certain African-American dedicated movies that you could watch on TV, whether it's on Turner Classic Movies or maybe even Netflix or some of the other streamers that you guys particularly like. It's all around. So, and you can find it. It's all available right there. And even you can even go on YouTube and look up a lot of information, and it's all right here. That's right. So that's what we celebrated for the rest of the month. Also, this month we don't want to forget about it. It's National Cancer Prevention Month. That's right, National Cancer Prevention Month. Now, cancer is cancer. We already know that. There's different kinds of cancer, different kinds of cancers that provide that, you know, go into the bodies and you fight them off. But this is what we look forward to. So if you want to make any kind of financial contribution to National Cancer Prevention Month, the best place to start is go to the cancer, there's a website called American Cancer Society. And you can go there and you can make your donations and learn more about it and talk to your doctor. And by all means, while you're at it, since we're in the physical thing about it, make sure when you go to your doctor, you get checked up and see, because I got to tell you, I'm here to tell you as a cancer survivor myself, there are no symptoms at all. There are no symptoms. And sometimes you'll find out about these things just by going to take a routine check, which is not a bad idea. If you're proactive enough to go on a regular basis to your doctor whenever he wants to see you, whenever he calls you, you do that and you can find out more. So, just keep that in mind. And there's a way to fight these things because, as you already know, as time goes on, technology gets better, and the best way to work on things is to just keep fighting. And we already know right now at this particular point, it's not as rough as it was before. Cancer was like a death sentence one time before, but there are a lot of things that you can do to treat it and hopefully overcome it. So we continue to celebrate that. That's National Cancer Prevention Month. Okay, keep all of that in mind. If you have any questions about that, feel free to talk to me about that too. As a survivor, I'm always, especially with the men, I always urge them to go out and get checked from between the age of 40 and up, 40 and up. You make sure you do that. It's a very important thing to do. It's important to me, and it should be important to you too. Hey, it's National Gumdrop Day. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I haven't had a gumdrop in years. I should have brought some with me. But anyway, it's if you care, it's National Gumdrop Day. So all of you who have the sugary things going on, waiting to do that, and go out and get some gumdrops. We just celebrated Valentine's Day, which was yesterday. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you got what you want. And speaking of Valentine's Day, if you're into the sweets, you have those little hearts, the little signs on there, with the little love notes. And if you're vicious, you have some of the signs on there that just says otherwise. But I hope you had a good one and you got everything you wanted. Ladies, you've gotten a lot of candy and flowers, which is always good. People are still celebrating that. And so I hope you did have a good Valentine's Day yesterday. National Wisconsin Day. Those of you who live in Wisconsin, this is your day, National Wisconsin Day. And people are celebrating that if they're in Wisconsin. Now, who knows what happens in Wisconsin? There's a lot of things going on. They may be parades or whatever it is, or all kinds of rallies. It's all happening in Wisconsin. So we want to wish all of you guys from Wisconsin the very best, no matter what part of Wisconsin. We want to wish you the very best. And there you go. It's your day. National Wisconsin Day. So we got all the national things out of the way. We got Black History Month, National Cancer Prevention, Gumdrop Day, and National Wisconsin Day. There's a lot to celebrate, And being in good health, we always remind you to always get your shots, all right? I want to remind you that we're still in the flu season right now, but we're out of that pretty soon. But at the same time, right now, what you ought to concentrate on is going to get your COVID-19 updated version shots. Okay, that's also there for you to go. All you have to do is go to your doctor, your pharmacist. It's a thing to do. You want to keep up with these things. And a lot of you who are like myself, right? I make sure I stay with it, right? So I'm up to date. I'm totally up to date with it. I want to keep it that way. And so once you're up to date, you have a better chance of fighting it. I don't say that you don't get COVID. A lot of people still get it. Hopefully, as the weather gets warmer, the spikes of COVID will go down a little bit. A lot of people not landing in the hospital for days and weeks and months. If there's any sign of it, you go to your doctor, make sure you get tested first. And then, of course, you stay away from everything for about 4 or 5 days, and then get tested again to make sure that you are negative. And once that happens, you can get back out into the action again. But the most important thing is get that shot. Remember, it's very important. Because all you have to do to get it is go to your pharmacist right across the street, around the corner, or whatever it is, or wherever it is for you, how far it is. You can go there and get your shots. Now, sometimes in a lot of cases, you have to make an appointment to do that. And if you're going to make the appointment, sometimes they say you can walk right in and get it. Sometimes they tell you that you can walk right in and get it, depending on where you live. You can do that. But if you are in a area where you have to either go on the website that's provided or go there and make the appointment right there on the spot. But whenever you make that appointment, that's the most important thing. Just make the appointment. And once you make that appointment, please keep that appointment. It's very, very important. Okay, so we got all that in mind. Okay, it's time right now. We're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, every week at this time, Brian Camp comes along with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Brian, I don't know if you knew this. I mean, you're in Charlotte, so you didn't know, but we had a lot of snow here in New York. A lot of snow.
I've been watching New York news for like the last days. And when I was in the bed and it was snowing, I was doing this. I don't have to drive in that snow anymore. Oh, my goodness. My heart went out to you all. I had to check on my grandkids and, because they go to school, but they had remote school. And so they was staying home. So I make sure I called them to make sure that they were up, even though their parents would make sure that they were up. But I want to make sure that, my grandchildren were up. Education is very important. School is very important to me and to, it should be important to every household and everything. I want to touch on something. You're absolutely right. Men, get your checkup. I get my annual every year. It was up to me. I get it every 6 months I'll check my prostate, and every 3 or 4 years, 5 years, depending. You check your colon also as well too. I make sure that as I get older, I make sure my immune system is intact. Remember one time I did get COVID, and I panicked. I was fully vaccinated. I still caught it, and my doctor told me, he said, "Mr. Camp, make sure, don't panic." He said, just make sure you double up on all your immune system. I take sea moss, black seed oil. I take zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, all of those things. Why waste time in letting yourself go, fade away? Keep yourself boosted. Exercise, but it's important for men. I know men is like is a touchy thing that they don't want to have that test. Let me move in and just say this.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that test.
Yeah.
To know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Some men feel violated, but you know what?
Violated.
So
Yeah.
it is. There's a couple of ways of taking a test, but I want the right way where I know that I'm going to be okay. So it's just you just got to do the right thing. So but I want to say good evening to you all out there. Good evening, Mary. Good evening, cousin Deborah. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. And we got a lot to talk about. Before I want to talk about sports, I want to talk about this. I was doing the trial for that guy that used to preside at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue a couple of years. But they had the trial for Atlanta, and Fannie Willis held her own. She held her own.
She got a little angry, but with good reason, though.
With good reason, yeah. And I saw there's a part where I saw where like the attorney asked her a question, and she thought he said whore, but it was a whore, HOAR. And she said, "What did you just say?" And I said, "Oh, no, he didn't." But he corrected himself. He said, "I would never do that." I thought, but she held her own. Of course, we can't comment on it. Basically, we can't really say who should win or who should go to jail. We're not going to say that. We're not going to do that. We don't do that on this here show. But I just say, let justice be done on whatever way it is. Let justice be done and everything. And it was really it's going to be he had a hearing for New York and Atlanta, so we're going to see what's going to happen and everything. But let's talk about some sports. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs who won Super Bowl 58, 57, 58. Yes, one of them. They beat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in overtime. That's their third championship, the third Super Bowl championship within 5 years, fourth overall. It was this Super Bowl was the longest Super Bowl ever, because it went into overtime, and was the most watched program in U.S. history. It was 123.4 million viewers across television and streaming platforms. Attendance. Now check this out. The attendance was the lowest at the stadium. It was only 61,629 people attended the game, which was the smallest Super Bowl in history, other than COVID-19 during the pandemic. So congratulations. They had their parade. We had some tragedy news. I really was angry about this. You bring your kids. They even let the kids out of school a little bit early for the parade for the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, and shots went off. This was just right after the parade, and some shots went off. One person died. It was Lisa Lopez Galvin. She died at the scene. She was a 43-year-old mother of two and a beloved local radio DJ. She was a radio DJ in that area. So our prayers go out to her family. It was tragic, and it's just come on, we're here to celebrate. Now, if gun laws are not going to be brought to, this, listen. Let me say this to you, and I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers. I'm a proud American. Not only am I a proud American, I'm a proud African American. But you have to do something with these laws. You have to do something with these laws. Now, me personally, I love everybody. Doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't make a difference where you're from. And this is from being raised by my mother. My mother raised us to love one another. I get angry when you have people who have hatred in their heart, who are racist, who don't like the idea that there's people trying to make everything work for the goodness of this country. And that's where we're at. There's some people, I have to say this, think that the Civil War is still going on. Yeah, they still think that we're living back in 1619. But we're here in 2024. Wasn't that too long ago, in the mid-60s, that the Civil Rights Movement was approved? And then the following year was the voters' rights. So right now we're in a stage where politics is taking over everything. It has to stop. But let me get back to sports. In the NBA, the 73 annual All-Star game is coming up. Yes, it's coming up. By the way, Usher did a wonderful job at the Super Bowl. He did great. I know there's mixed reaction. It wasn't the best. My best was Michael Jackson and Prince, but Usher did a wonderful job. But in the NBA, we're gonna have Babyface, Jennifer Hudson, and Charlotte Cardin will be performing at halftime or during All-Star weekend. So that's coming up this coming Sunday. That you all could just be there to would at least tune in, at least tune in and just enjoy it. The All-Star game, going to go back to the format of East and West. Major League Baseball, the Wichita Police Department has made arrests for the stolen statue of Jackie Robinson. Remember that story I told you about? They stole his statue from a park. and was found dismantled days later. Well, Ricky Adelare, 45, is charged with felony and theft, valued at $25,000. Aggravated criminal. He's going to be charged for aggravated criminal damage of property, identity theft, and making false information. Now, the investigation has not revealed any evidence indicated that this was a hate-motivated crime, but the investigation believed that this theft was motivated by financial gain of scrapping common metal. I beg to differ. I think it was more of the other way around, but I'm not investigating it. But, you know, again, we got to do better. This day, February 15th, 1964, former U.S. Senator and former New York Knicks Bill Bradley scored 51 points for Princeton University. Yes, the former senator of New Jersey. 1978, Leon Spinks upset Muhammad Ali in 15 rounds to gain the title, and Ali regains the title 7 months later in the same year to regain the title. 1986, 44,180 people, largest NBA crowd to date, to see the Philadelphia 76ers against the Detroit Pistons. 1990, Major League owners lock out players. That's when they had a small strike. 2018, Denver center Nikola Djokovic records the fastest triple-double, 14 minutes and 33 seconds in the first quarter. He did that in one quarter at the start of the game. Birthdays, 1948, Ron the Penguin Say, third baseman for the LA Dodgers, born in Tacoma, Washington. 1949, happy birthday to Ken Anderson, NFL quarterback, born in Beltravia, Illinois. And happy birthday to Darryl Green, who's known as one of the fastest football players ever. Was a cornerback for the Washington Redskins, was born in Houston, Texas. Also, I'm going to do a segment on Black History Month. We're going to tribute to football. Black history. Art Shell was the first African-American coach to coach the LA Raiders. That was back in 1989. Tony Dungy made history, becoming the first African-American coach to win a Super Bowl. That was in 2006. Kenny Washington breaks the NFL color barrier, in March 21st, 1946. Willie Thrower, Thrower, you know what a thrower is the first African-American quarterback. That was in 1953. Burrell Tola, the first African-American official from 1965 to 1989. Johnny Greer is the first African-American referee. Now, referee and an official are two different things. The referee is the lead man of all the officials to come, but he's the referee, so he's in charge of the whole crew. He was the first person. That was back in 1988. 1975, Franco Harris, the first African-American to win a Super Bowl MVP. 1987, Doug Williams, the first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl. 2002, Ozzie Newsome, first African-American general manager for the Baltimore Ravens. And in 2023, which was last year, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes is the first African-American quarterbacks to go against one another in the Super Bowl. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a mild 67 degrees, I beg your pardon, 67 degrees here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, that's mild. You got mild. We don't have mild here. But that's, we'll get our chance, though. We'll get our chance. What was the first African-American umpire in Major League Baseball? Emmett, remember?
I'm going to do that next week.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just thought I'd throw it out.
After this, we got 2 more weeks left of Black History. So next week, I'm going to do baseball.
Okay. All right.
And the following week, I'm going, the last one, I'm going to do basketball.
Well,
but I'm on it, yes.
Yeah, I'll leave it alone then. I just figured he just came to my mind as you were reading.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'll ziplock it then. I'll ziplock it. Yeah, but that Super Bowl game was pretty good. I didn't, it was, something I got to tell you, even though I rooted for the Chiefs, but I got to tell you, the 49ers have nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
Absolutely
they
nothing to be ashamed of.
yeah,
They played a good game, and for a couple of minutes or so, I thought they were going to take the game, away anyway.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they just came back, and of course I wanted to see. I voted for. I went for the Chiefs because I wanted to see for two reasons. First of all, first and foremost, I wanted to see Patrick Mahomes. Get in there. This is like his what? His third ring.
Oh, ring, yeah.
Yeah,
It's third.
yeah, and and look, two years in a row, 2 straight years in a row, and
Yeah.
already Travis Kelsey is talking about three years in a row. We didn't hear, he was just wrapping it up. He's talking about 3 years in a row, and next year he wants to do it again. And the
Yeah.
second reason is that I wanted to see. I was rooting for Travis too because he got his game. His girlfriend got won the best album of the year. And so that's kind of like a celebration for the two of them.
Do you know that Taylor Swift has increased NFL football ratings?
I know.
I know a lot of people don't want is getting tired of seeing Taylor Swift on television, but she brought so much revenue into the sport of football.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's hating on her and everything, But you know what? I love sports. If it helps the sports, so be it. But we need to really come together. Deborah, thank you for saying that. Many of the youngsters and adults, don't understand how to deal with controversial conflicts and things like that. They're always so quick to react, and to lose a life like that, that I have that bothered me. That really bothered me and everything. But I just wish that we could do better. Just do better, not only as a race, but do better as Americans. As Americans, basically, let's just leave the race thing out of it, because we don't even know who it is. It doesn't matter who was the victim or what ethnic group they came from or who caused it and everything. The idea, a loss of life. And then what's so bad about this, so sad, that a lot of these victims were injured with children. They were children, little ones.
Yeah.
Only one person died. And, it would have been great if nobody had died, but only, it could have been worse. And there's some that's still not out of the woods yet. So, we got to do it better, America.
Yeah.
America, let me say this about America. America has not always been right. They have not always been on the right side of everything. America has done some crooked stuff too. And I say that as a proud American.
Yeah. So it was 20 some odd people got involved, got injured, and a lot of them were around 16 years old, most of them when they were in their teens. And like you say, the only person that got swept up in it all was Lisa Lopez Galvin, who they say was a
local.
Yeah, she was a local radio disc jockey out in Kansas City.
Yeah.
That must have been a big loss for the people. If she was that popular, that must have been a big loss for the people who listened to her show.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, but more importantly, she was a mother of two children.
Yeah. Yeah. But you were. I stuck a pin in it for you. You were going to get ready to go back and tell about the revenue for the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL, 123.4 million people, but the revenue, it goes up now. I mean, ratings, when the ratings go up, the money flows in more.
Yeah.
So, the NBA is doing okay right now. The NBA is more of a player sport. The NFL is more of a owner sport, but the owners make a ton of money with the cable contracts. And baseball is run by, various people, owners and players, and but it's NFL. I mean,
A lot of it in baseball, there's a lot of it is corporate, and
a lot of it is corporate, yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with baseball. It's too many corporations owning what they have their hands in it. When corporates come in, for some reason, when the corporates come in, they kind of screw it up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
do. Yeah, they do. But again, our prayers to the family. We got to pray for healing for this country, but one thing about sports brings everybody together. When I think about 9/11, sports was our therapy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
If we could leave politics out the way, like I always say, and I remain to say this here, I do vote because of our ancestors, but I no Democrat, I trust no Republican, and I trust no independent. But I'll vote.
Well, as long as you vote, I think that's the most important thing. There used to be only one party. There was no such thing as independents and green and all of that. It was just two parties. It was either you're a Republican or a Democrat. And back in those days, even though the Republicans and the Democrats, they had their issues with each other, they always did and probably always will. But at the end of the day, it was not about the party. It was about the country. And they said, okay, we got a Republican in the White House. Okay, fine. The Democrats lost it. Republicans are in. We got to work with the Republicans to make this whole thing better. That's how it was back then.
It was back then, yeah. I mean, we didn't. It was always a disagreement between the parties, but they came together grudgingly. But they came together. Now today, shut down the government. Don't want to budge this, and I don't know.
Well,
I'm American though.
We'll continue to see what happens with the clown show, because that's exactly what it is. It's a clown show.
The circus.
Yeah. So we'll catch you back here tomorrow.
You should. I gotta move some things around with the schedule. I'll be at work and everything, but yeah, let's just say I'll figure it out, because I have to come on tomorrow, because I want to talk more about this here.
Yeah,
I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Not that I want you to do it and everything, but I think I want to do this here. I want to reach out to some people.
So I'll take that as a yes then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll call you tomorrow morning.
Okay, just like you did last week.
Yeah, I'll call. Want to come on at 10:05 or something like that.
Okay. All right, we'll catch you back here next time tomorrow. Take care. It's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen. Those are inside jokes. I do the inside jokes. The wonderful world sports update. That's what he has, bringing you to the latest updates in today's world of sports. Of course, you already know there's a lot of it happening. Super Bowl is over, and pretty soon we're gonna go to baseball, and we're gonna be looking forward to a lot of things. In the meantime, basketball is in session right now, so you Knicks fans, you Lakers, and all of you guys, the Brooklyn Nets, and I know a lot of people in Brooklyn. They like the Nets. As Mary from Brooklyn, Deborah from Brooklyn. They're all from Brooklyn. And that's their team out there. I guess that's their team. I don't know. Just because you're from Brooklyn, they say, I'm from New York myself. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm a New Yorker for many years, all of these years. But they say, okay, just because you're from that city, you should be rooting for that city. The only New York team that I have, that I go for, that I root for, are the New York Yankees. That's the only New York team. The rest of the sports. For football, it's the Minnesota Vikings. For basketball, it's the Lakers. And I didn't get too much into hockey, so I'm not going to even talk about that. But if I had to, it probably would be, I was going to say the Devils, but they're from New Jersey. Whatever. I'm not into it. I'll think about it. If I decide that I want to make a switch over to hockey, look at hockey, then I'll think about that. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. and we're going to be with you for the balance of the hour. We thank you so much for being along with us, and stay with us because there's a lot to talk about, more to talk about, and you can chime in on conversation too. All you have to do is let your fingers do the walking and let us know what you want to talk about. And of course, we will include your conversation into the mix, and we could all do that. No particular team for Mary. No particular team. Well, but she likes sports just to say, right? That's okay. That's okay. No particular team. Just like there's no particular way to go. Like as Chuck Berry would say, no particular place to go. No particular team. But I love my Yankees, I love my Vikings, and I love my Lakers. And so I'm stuck with those guys for many years. And you know something, ever since I was a kid, those are the teams I was going for. So you got to figure, you know, once you're stuck with a team, if you like a particular team, right? And you've been with that team for a long time and they start to lose games, you know, for better or worse. If they start to lose games and you move away from that team because they're losing games, then that doesn't make you such a good fan of the team, you know? So it's just like, you know, rooting for a team, any kind of team is like being married, for better or worse. If they're not doing so well, you stick with them and you root for them and you energize them and make them be better. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you again for joining us. And I think it's about that time, don't you think? I think it's about that time. So let's go back in time on this day in history, 1924. The silent film It is released in the United States, starring Clara Bow. On this day in history, 1933, President-elect Franklin D. Roosevelt survives assassination in Miami, Florida attempt, but Chicago Mayor Alton Cermak is mortally wounded, and he died on March 29th of that year. On this day in history, in 1941, Duke Ellington records Take the A Train. He recorded it, but Billy Strayhorn, he wrote it, and it took him 15 minutes to do it. On this day in history, 1950, Walt Disney animated film Cinderella premieres in Boston. On this day in history in 1950, WSYR, now it's WSTM, that's TV, that's Channel 3 in Syracuse, New York, an NBC station begins broadcasting. On this day in history in 1964, the Beatles Meet the Beatles. That's the name of the album. The Beatles, their album, Meet the Beatles. That's the album that went #1 and stayed #1 for 11 weeks of that year. Back in 1979, the 21st Grammy Awards go to Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are and A Taste of Honey. In 1985, the film The Breakfast Club, starring Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, and Ali Sheedy was released. Back in 1991, the 41st Berlin International Film Festival, the House of Smiles, they win the Golden Bear Award. And in 2011, that's the year, what a great year, 2011, US President Barack Obama, that's why I say it's a good year, President Barack Obama awards writer and activist Maya Angelou the Presidential Medal of Freedom. See, that was a very good year, I would say. Okay, the year 2016, the 58th Grammy Awards, Best Song, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, and the best album in 1989 by Taylor Swift. In 2022, the revival of Meredith Willson's musical, The Music Man, starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, opens at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City. Actor John Barrymore was born on this day in 1882 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He died May 29th, 1942, at the age of 60 years old from cirrhosis of the liver and kidney failure. Composer Harold Arlen was born on this day in 1905 in Buffalo, New York. He died April 23rd in 1986 at the age of 81 years old. He died from cancer. Actor Cesar Romero was born on this day in 1907 in New York City. He died January 1st, 1994 at the age of 86 years old from bronchitis and pneumonia. In 1941, pianist, songwriter, and producer of Motown Records, Brian Holland was born on this day. in Detroit, Michigan. He's 83 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Brian. In 1950, news anchor and actress Donna Hanover was born on this day. She's 74 years old today. Happy birthday, Donna. Haven't seen her in years. In 1951, actress Jane Seymour was born on this day. In London, England, she's 73. Also in 1951, pop singer Melissa Manchester celebrates a birthday. She was born in the Bronx. She's 73 years old today. Actor comedian Chris Farley was born on this day in 1964 in Madison, Wisconsin. He died December 18th, 1997 at the age of 33 years old from a drug overdose. In 1943, model Betty Page weds high school sweetheart Billy Neal in Gallatin, Tennessee. Nat King Cole died on this day in 1965 at the age of 45 years old from lung cancer. He was born March 17, 1919, and he was born in Montgomery, Alabama. Singer-actress Ethel Merman died on this day in 1984 at the age of 76 from brain cancer. She was born January 16th in 1908. She was born in our town here in New York, but in Astoria, Queens. That's in New York. In 1996, actor Tommy Reddick, he played back in the 50s, Jeff Colley and Lassie. He died of a heart attack at the age of 54 years old. In 2002, broadcast journalist Howard K. Smith dies from pneumonia at the age of 87. Actor Kevin Smith died on this day at the age of 83 years old. He died in 2002. And he died... The death was a head injury after suffering a fall from a prop tower. And he was born March 16th, 1963 in New Zealand. And finally, actress Raquel Welch died on this day and at the age of 82 years old. She died in 2003, and she was born September 5th, 1940 in Chicago, Illinois. And those of you who know anything about what's happening on this day in history, you have any other thing? And being that this is Black History Month, I might have missed something along the way. I don't want to miss anything. I'm going to depend on you to help me out with that. And all you have to do is just type it in and let me know what you have to say about that. Just type it in. Let me know on this day in history. That's what's happening on this day in history. On this day in history. And the date is February 15th. That's where we are right now. We're halfway down the line. And isn't it leap year? This is the month where we only get, I believe, 28 days, right? 28 days this month. In September, you either get the highest is 29 days. But this year is 28 days. So this is leap year. So there you go. We have a lot of things going on. And those of you who are celebrating birthday on the 29th, well, you're going to have to wait. But that makes you a little bit younger than the rest of the people who were born in February on the 28th or the 29th, right? Okay, listen, I always get you guys to come in. If you have anything to say, by all means, please say it, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. But listen, if you would like to get in touch with me, I have a couple of sources how you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. 20 days in February. That's right, Brian. But we got 28 days this year, right? We only have 28 days this year, this February. That's all we have. There's 28 days. The highest is 29, but we get 28 this year. All right. Again, check it out. If you have any means of getting in touch with me, by all means, do it. Right? I have two sources. I have an email address and a telephone number. So please do that. Get me in touch right now. It's 29. It's 29. Am I reading the calendar right? Let me pop up the calendar here. You're right. It is 29. All right. I got the calendar right here in front of me. Right. Okay. It is 29. All right. But still, every once in a while, we get the 28 days, right? But yeah, this is 29 this year. You're right. Absolutely. Okay. Getting back to what I was going to say, if you have any desire to get in touch with me, I have an email address, and I'm going to give you that right now. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Frank Allan. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. Prod, and that's A-L-L-A-N. That's very important. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. Now, it's very important that you spell it right. Otherwise, it's going to go someplace else. or it may bounce back to you, say no such number, no such zone, or whatever it is. Return to sender, I don't know. Anyway, that's Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number, if you so desire, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Do that, because if you desire to get in touch, please, whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You may want to talk about this show, or you may want to critique the show, which is fine with me, because I always listen to you. And if there's something that you have an idea about the show, pass it along. I'll take it in consideration. I can't guarantee you anything. Nothing's a guarantee, but I can guarantee I will listen to you. I will take it in consideration, and we'll see if we can work with it and do our best. So anything that you want to have, any opinion or whatever, as long as it's diplomatic opinions, that's great with me. I listen to it because I got thick skin. You know, it just bounces off, whatever. But as long as it's nice and diplomatic, that's great. So let me give you that email address again. It's frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number again is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I want to go back to a reprise. Well, Brian and I were talking about the parade that took place in Kansas City, because they were celebrating. As you already know, the Super Bowl was played in Kansas City, right? They played it in Kansas City, or was it in San Francisco? I can't remember. All I know is they won the game, and they did the parade in Kansas City in their hometown for their local people. And you know, you always look forward to a nice parade. Now, I haven't gone to a parade in years, you know, because I don't like the crowds too much. But for the people who do like parades, that was supposed to be a fun time. It was supposed to be an easy time. It was supposed to be a great time. And it seems to me that all of a sudden people are celebrating, having a good time, and all of a sudden you could hear these gunshots, because they played the footage, they played the sound on the air. You could actually hear the shots heard all over the place, right? And as we said, a lot of people were injured. Over 20 some odd people were injured, plus one particular person passed away. That one particular happened to be one of the local radio disc jockeys, Lisa Lopez Galvin. I want to send my condolences out to her family, you know, and I'm pretty sure her young kids, it's hard, and for them to process that, losing a mom, you know, at the tender age like that. But, you know, I was getting back to saying that with these parades and things, these are supposed to be special events that people are supposed to enjoy. And it's not safe anymore. It's not even safe to go to a parade anymore. I remember when I was back in my day, which was a long time ago, right? We used to go to parades. There used to be events like that. The days of, remember the days, if anybody is about my age, remember the days of the discotheque? You can go in there. Do they still have clubs for kids anymore that they could go in and enjoy themselves and then go back home, get back home safely? Do they still have clubs? Does anybody know that? I mean, I haven't heard it. I don't know. I'm not into that anymore. Then I was such a long time ago. I did that in my day. But I was just wondering if they still have clubs where young people can go and hang out and dance and have a good time like we used to, you know. And if they don't, I can understand why. And these events are supposed to be safe. Whether they do or they don't, let's say, for instance, they do. They're supposed to go there. Kids are supposed to go there, have a good time and enjoy themselves and be safe and go back home and talk about it the next day. You know, that's what this parade was supposed to be about. They were supposed to have a good time, talk about it the next day, you know. And it came so close. It came so close. Even they had to escort the team off the stage because they were getting ready to wrap it up. They're getting ready to wrap everything up. And then when the team were being escorted off the stage, that's when you heard the gunshots. And that was a terrible thing. I've seen it, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart because, first of all of the people that were young, they were all young. They were all like in their teens, and they're 16, 17, 18 years old, you know, and they were all out there just ready to have a good time. And so they say it wasn't, a lot of people are going to politicize this, but they say it wasn't, it was an event that happened. I guess maybe two people just got into a fight or something, or disagreement, and this whole thing broke out. But they said it wasn't anything politically. We don't know that, but that was one of the first things I thought when I saw that, when I heard it, you know. So they said it wasn't that, so it was probably something that was just gotten out of hand. But then again, you know, something, a lot of these events, they get out of hand, unnecessarily out of hand, you know. But you know, I just want to, you know, take time to send my condolences out to the family of Lisa Lopez Galvin, and all of the people who were there, the survivors that were there. I wish them the best of luck. I don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of them were hospitalized. Some maybe have gotten over it, but they have to deal with the trauma of it all. But it goes on, and when you think we got certain things licked, it just comes back again. Just seems like things come back again. Mass shooting, and I thought maybe after a while we would get over this whole thing, and it just keeps happening. And they always say, as they say, the beat goes on. And I hate to use that terminology, what's next? I hate that. I used to say that a lot. What's next? What can we expect next? I'm refraining from that. I'm just letting it go. But I just keep all my prayers open to everyone who were involved, and to the family of Lisa Lopez Galvin. All my blessings and my condolences. Okay, I want to talk about those movies that I have for you guys. They're Turner Classic Movies. And just in case you don't know, or you have forgotten, this is going to be a long weekend. It's President's Day weekend. So those of you who have the luxury of not going to work or anything on that Monday, and you can stay home and then relax and do whatever you want to do. Now, a lot of you guys are maybe doing a lot of things, cookouts or whatever. You want to use that as a cookout. President's Day, we're going to cook out, you know, right? You can do that if you want, but if you want to catch up on some movies, I have a few to add to your bucket list of what to watch I think you may like. So I'm going to get started with that right now. Let's get started. Let's go back to 1942. Here's one of my favorite kind of films, because I'm a Yankee fan. It's called The Pride of the Yankees, starring Gary Cooper, Teresa Wright, and Walter Brennan. That's a Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that. That's Friday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. All of the times I'm giving you are Eastern, so you can act accordingly. You like boxing? I like boxing. Well, I used to like boxing. I gave it up after Muhammad Ali. But anyway, Raging Bull with Robert De Niro back in 1980. Robert De Niro, Kathy Moralty, and Joe Pesci. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. That's Saturday at 12:30 a.m. Eastern. That's late at night. And if you don't get a chance to watch this in real time, you could, you know, DVR it and watch it at your very own convenience. Cool Hand Luke from 1967. Paul Newman, George Kennedy, and DJ Cannon. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And here's another classic. Also back in 1967, The Dirty Dozen, starring Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and Charles Bronson. Jim Brown is in there too, so I'm not gonna neglect that. Jim Brown was in that movie as well. That's The Dirty Dozen, and that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. You can check out all of these movies at your very own convenience. And please, when you go on Turner Classic Movies, go through the program guide, because there may be other movies that I haven't mentioned, but these are my picks of the week, and you may like them as well, and you could add them to your bucket list of what to watch. And of course, when you go online and go on demand, you got the pay-per-view movies, you got the free movies, you got sporting events, you got children's, educational movies, everything. All you have to do is just go right through it all, and it's all right there and all the Turner Classic movies. That's all right there. And I hope that, again, that you enjoy it. That's going to wrap it up for me tonight. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports and sports update. I hope you'll be here because I'm going to be looking for you. If not, you can meet me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Me, Brian Camp with sports, and of course, you as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you soon.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.